What was the drive like yesterday?
Um, it was okay up until I got the call to switch a route with another driver. Um, they took my route, my third tier, and I was asked to do another route that wasn't mine. I was helping the company out.
Were you working yesterday?
I was at work on
Was
the
this just an
bus.
extra shift?
Well, we do extra tiers sometimes, and they pay us a certain amount more for doing an extra tier. So it's just like extra time, you
So a
know.
little extra time yesterday. You got
hmm
something you never thought about. Tell me about the experience.
No, I mean, I've had bus rides with unruly kids before, even unruly parents before, but never to this extent, you know. When I got to the school, it was fine. Got the kids on the bus. That's where everything started. No one wanted to sit down. They were playing. The teachers came to the bus, put the kids on the bus. Nobody got on the bus and said, hey, I need you to sit down, be quiet. You have a sub driver. I need you all to act right. Something. Nobody said that. Put them on the bus and they kept going.
And then boom, it happens. Talk about the moment that the attack started.
Well, as I was on my way to the first stop, which was Penrose and Prairie, um, a fight broke out on the bus. Two young ladies, um, both looked like they could have been about maybe, I would say maybe 9 or 10 years old. So I stopped the bus and separated them. Well, I told the one that was the aggressor to stay in the back of the bus, and I brought the other young lady to the front of the bus. Well, I never got a chance to pull off again because when I asked the young lady to sit down, I can't proceed on until you have a seat. She told me no, she wasn't going to sit down. And then other fights started to break out on the bus, besides that one. So got those situated, but she ended up in the front of the bus. So I proceeded to talk to her, but all this time I'm trying to contact my base. I'm letting them know what's going on. This child is not listening to me. She's blatantly telling me that she's not going to sit down. She's not listening.
And how did all of that connect to the fight that you ended up being a part of?
The child that was the aggressor, when she got home to her mother, because she got off the bus, she lied to her mother when she got home. And she said, I put her off the bus and I had told another child to jump on her. But I mind you, this is an ongoing problem on that route every day. So, I just read a statement from KIP. They sent a statement and they told me that they did everything possible within their power to dissolve the situation. That is so not true, because the day before, I heard a driver on the radio yelling for help. He said, hey, I can't do it. These kids are off the chain.
And these are little kids.
Yes.
So, and I'm rolling for social media now. Talk to me about. I saw the woman with a squeegee hitting you. Talk about just living through that moment.
It happens so fast. People always say that I would have did this, I would have did that. I didn't see it coming at all. The woman came to the door. I'm waiting for a child to get off of the bus. And I was wondering why he didn't get off the bus until the woman got to the door. So, he exited the bus, and then the lady said, um, you told this girl, actually she said you told this, do I need to, no, okay. You told this girl to jump on my daughter. And that time she stepped up on the bus. It's illegal for anyone but these students or a school official or authority to step on the bus. It's a federal offense. And she did like this and stuck one foot out of the door and said, "Hold up, I'm not trying to hear that." She proceeded to call me every name in the book, and she punched me in the face. So I was in my seatbelt. I tried to get out my seatbelt as fast as possible. I stood up, but then, we kind of tussled a little bit in the front. I didn't throw a punch. I never threw a punch, but I was just trying to get her off the bus. Ma'am, you have to get off of the bus, okay?
Why did you go that route, Patrula? Why did you stand there? Why did you not punch back, kick back, push her? Why did you stand?
Because our company has this rule, this policy that they enforce. We have to remain professional at all times, no matter what's going on. They'll tell you to defend yourself, but then,
So what did you want to do?
I wanted to hit her back. I did, but God spoke to me. At that point when she started to grab my dress and yank me off of the bus, and the other girl yanked me off of the bus, I just knew that once they got me off the bus, it was over. You know what I'm saying? So when she finally got me off of the bus and I hit the ground, I heard God say, "Just stay still. Just stand still. Just let them do whatever they're going to do. I got you." I couldn't move. It was like I was just fixed. My eyes were just fixed in one place. I didn't see what was going on. But to me, that was God saying, keep your eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? You step out of God's will and you do what you want to do in your strength, things get worse. You know what I'm saying? So I had to stay within God's will. See, in my weakness, his strength, you know what I'm saying? In my weakness, his strength was made perfect in me.
You have the ability to discern, right?
Yeah.
I forget the scripture I want to quote, but God tells us to stand still.
Stand still and know that I am God.
Right. Is it Corinthians, I think, or somewhere in there? But the whole thing is, you did that. You got off that bus. I saw your testimony. You talked about God talking to you. Tell me what that felt like, and I don't mean the physical part, but talk about mentally.
When I tell you, as they were hitting me, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel a thing. It was like I was just numb all over. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't feel anything until everything was over with, But that was the peace and the protection around me, You say, yeah, you got beat up. You got drugged. You got kicked. But you are still alive. I told you I would keep you.
He's your hedge of protection.
That's right. That's right.
So talk about the embarrassment. I saw your post. I mean, it wasn't just one person hitting you.
I know.
Beating you. You had the kids around you. They're looking for 2 suspects, but do you think there are more than 2 suspects? Should all of them?
They were actually 3. Well, 3 older girls and 1 younger girl, which was the daughter, and then the guy that had the camera, the phone recording it. He said, pull her off the bus and beat her. Beat her when she get off the bus. So, but that was something I didn't hear. I didn't hear that until I looked at the video. Okay. There was a lot going on around me, and a lot of stuff I did not pay attention to. I couldn't even remember, but looking at the video, I get a little bit more clarity on it.
Do you get a little more anger now because people were recording the video rather than 911? This woman needs help. You've been doing this 22 years plus.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to the fact that people had their phones out there mocking this situation? You could have been killed. They were just, ha, 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 pull her off, pull her off.
Let me tell you something. Jesus on the cross, before he got to the cross, he was beaten unrecognitionably, and I felt at that time, and the way I see it now is that if Jesus can walk, if he can walk through all that, then I can too. Who am I, But I'm strong in him. But when I try to do things my way, it doesn't work. So I had to do things. I had to obey my father when he told me what to do, because that saved my life.
Right. And talk about the injuries. I mean, I see
Well,
the woman with the squeegee. Talk about the injuries. Tell me what you are dealing with now.
you know, I got scars. I have bruises. I have been, I've been, you know, all of this. I even got scars here that I didn't know I had till this morning. But those will heal. Those will heal. And I can say I'm not going back out. I'm not going to deal with people anymore. You know, it's not about that. My faith is in God. It's not in people. Man will fail you. You can't put your trust in man. You have to put all your trust in God. And if he can bring me to it, then he can bring me through it. And that's exactly what he did. He brought me through it. Because if I had done anything differently, I might have been Petrula Griffin, rest in peace today, instead of Petrula Griffin, I'm so glad you're okay. And that's where I get my joy from. I still have joy. And don't get me wrong, I forgive her. I forgive all of them for what they've done. It's not like I've never experienced anything like this before, period. When we were younger in school, I've been jumped on a couple of times, this, that, whatever. But, things in life happen. Some things we can control and some things we can't. But I knew who was in control when I was being attacked. And it was God. He was in control.
So at the end of the day, these kids were fighting. One of the kids that was fighting got off the bus at the stop and said, Mama, the bus driver put me off the bus. Something as simple as that. And this woman in the video just comes on and hits you with a squeegee because you put her kid off the bus. Something so simple.
Well,
what do you think needs to happen to them? I mean, I know faith is important and God has the say in the end, but, this is flesh. Does justice need to kick in? Does the police department?
Well, in the flesh, yes. Justice needs to be served in this, because had it not been me, it would have been someone else. And there's no telling what would have happened to the next person. Because by me being saved and in Christ, you know what I'm saying? I had the ability to restrain myself, and think while I was being attacked. I thought God put the notion for me to think, listen, while I was being attacked. Okay. Now someone else, it may have been a different story. They may have retaliated, and then they may have gotten killed, And I'm glad that the children were safe on the bus. They were afraid. They were so afraid. I thought they closed the door, but they didn't. It was me that actually closed the door, but as they were trying to get on the bus and keep the door open, it was already being in closed mode. So when they pulled me off of the bus, it automatically closed and shut, so nobody could get on the bus.
Now, did you look at the video?
I saw it. Yeah.
When did you look at that video?
I looked at it last night. I watched it this morning, and don't get me wrong, it hurts. It's embarrassing, how people would just degrade someone the way that they do, but, like I said, if it hadn't have been me, it would have been somebody else. And I do truly forgive them for what they've done. They're young. A lot of these children are raising themselves. We get calls from the bus company over the radio, and they say, well, Petrula, can you go back to the stop? Even though the kids were late, I have no problem going back. Even though they didn't make it there on time, the parents will say, well, I've been there since this time. She never showed up. Okay, I'll go back. But you know what the excuse is sometimes? Why they'll send us back? Because the parents will say, we don't have any food at home and I can't feed my child. So the only meal she's going to get is at school.
And that's always the trend. Now, and we're almost done. Would you, are you still going to continue to drive these kids to school?
Something that I would have to truly, truly think about. You know, it's my job, and don't get me wrong, I love to drive. You know, I love children. You know, my children love me, you know, and I don't want to be the one to let them down, you know, but I feel that something has to be done. Everybody has to, it takes a village to raise a child, okay? And if everyone is not working together and doing their part, how can we change them? How can we get them to live? Our children are dying in these streets because of foolishness. Foolishness. You know, somebody can get into an argument and next thing you know, boom.
They have no regard for life.
None. They have no respect for life. And their parents are showing them that. They shouldn't have any respect for life. And that's not good, you know. I lost a son 4 years ago due to a gunshot wound. You know, it was an accident, but, you know, I'm at peace with what happened, how it happened, and who was involved, you know. But it was something that could have, had they just opened their mouths and said, Mom, our brother has a problem. Maybe I could have helped him. You know, I could have reached out to him a little bit more or whatever instead of them just hiding it. You know, loyalty, you have to know what you need to be loyal to these days. Not to the streets, you know, not to people that's out here doing wrong, that don't have your best interests at heart. You have to be loyal to God, to yourself. You want to live. If you want to live, do what's right. Do what's right. Even if people pick on you, these people feel like they have something to prove to everybody. You don't have anything to prove to anyone.